Welcome to the video, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you are new to the channel, then a warm welcome from me. If you are just a returning visitor, thank you so much for watching and following the videos. But guys, just a quick one today, right? A very quick video where I wanted to address something that I've been asked a few times this week, probably about 5 or 6 times via email or through my Instagram, which has been the question of when to start, right? So I have a lot of inquiries from people who, they're super set on the decision, that they've committed to the decision, they've told themselves they are going to do this, but they don't know when is a good time, right? Whenever is a good time. Should I start in a month, in 3 months, in 4 months? But because we are, nearing the new year, it's actually the end of a decade, right? 2010 to the end of 2019, 10 years. People are saying, I want to start in January, right? So I'm going to start, new year, the whole cliche, new year, new me. Everyone starts their diets in January. I'm not sure how many actually last. I am useless at that as well. I just try and look at, today is the only day to get things done. There is no tomorrow. As Rocky would say, there is no tomorrow.
What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
I want to do things now, right? But if we just look at an example, so to answer the question, for someone who's decided they want to begin, but they've set a date that they're going to start on maybe January 1st, when it's a new year and a new idea and a new business opportunity, and they'll get started then. But the issue that a lot of people don't factor into that decision is what we call Chinese New Year, right? Now, the majority of products that you're going to be launching on Amazon, we source from China, right? That is a fact. The majority of items you sell will be, their origin will be China. Now, we, throughout Chinese New Year, are going to have very limited contact with our suppliers, if any at all, and the manufacturing process stops entirely from the beginning of February right the way through until the beginning of March. Now, my Chinese New Year for my supplier, they take a little bit longer off. It does vary from supplier to supplier, but it is at least a month, guys. Now, that means that during the month of February, you can't get anything done. So you can't place an order for your products because manufacturing stops. You can't really do anything, right? It's even difficult to get hold of your supplier. So if you're working on a timeline that you want to get started very quickly, but you're delaying things until January, it means that, let's say, 4 weeks it takes you to find a product, which is quite fast. Typically it might take a little bit longer than that, but if we look at it as a 4-week period, you sample after 3 weeks and you're ready to place an order, let's say on the 5th week, well, you won't be able to place that order because you're going to have another month added on to the process just because of Chinese New Year. And often Chinese New Year has an after effect, so it takes a little bit of time for suppliers to get back into the swing of things, to put orders back through if they're new orders, because they're still processing orders from before. So that timeline is interrupted by Chinese New Year, and it's something that a lot of people miss, right? If you're a new seller on Amazon, you may have never heard of Chinese New Year. I certainly hadn't before I started. Now, if we look at an alternative and something that I promote, and I believe, the time is now, right? You could die tomorrow, you could be hit by a bus tomorrow, God forbid, but, take action now. And there's all the more reason to act on that basis because of Chinese New Year. Now, if we look at that same timeline, but applied right now, it gives you 5 weeks, 6 weeks until the start of the new year. By that point, you may have sampled and chosen your product and be ready to place your order by mid-January or even the beginning of January if you move very quickly. Now, if you have a relatively short lead time, 2 to 3 weeks, which products do, mine typically are a little bit longer than that, but you have products that have lead times. I have some students who have products within 10 days, they're mass ordered and sent in. If there's been no mods, it's just a private label straight on, and it's a simple product that they produce on a mass scale. So that same example means that you can get a product into the UK ready to launch before Chinese New Year hits, saving you 5 weeks, right? So just by delaying it till January, adds on another month and a half and possibly more to the process. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I said I've had loads of questions about this over the last few weeks, especially this week for people who they've committed, right? They know they want to do it, they've got the funds in order, they're ready to rock and roll, but there's an issue that they'd rather look at it as a fresh start in 2020. If you can wipe that idea from your brain and think there is no difference whether you start then or now, in terms of it just being an idea, but in terms of the actual practicality of implementing that idea, it's much more difficult if you start right at the beginning of January. So just a short one, guys, to touch on that. Thank you so much for watching the videos. There'll be lots more content coming. I'll be posting a video which I've already recorded, a special video for you guys on Monday or Tuesday. I'm not having decided when to actually premiere it, but I will keep you guys updated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.